welcome back
to the Taylor Treasures studio.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, so I did want to say, if I'm not smiling as wide as I usually do, I have a little...
Because she's in a bad mood, guys. Just deal with it.
It's not it. I have a cut in my lip. It's from, like, winter and stuff, so I don't want it to rip open, so I'm not going to be as smiling as wide as I usually do.
That would not be a pleasant thing to watch.
Yeah, so I just want to let you know with that. So today we're going to be talking about is how Hollywood puts their sound effects in for movies. Now, sometimes they will use the sounds that they did while they were filming it on the shot, but oftentimes they will put them in later after the scene has been filmed.
In post.
In post, exactly. So it can take a while with the mics to get it just right, to get the sound crisp and clear if they're doing it like while they're filming, and then they can critique it and stuff later. So a lot of the sounds are done after in the studio, and actually the sounds aren't made with what you would think they'd be made with. So we're going to tell you today how they actually make these sounds out of things that aren't the sounds. They're not the sounds. They're different things.
Maybe surprised.
Yeah. So they're needed for movies. Sounds are needed.
Kind of important.
Yeah. A movie that I wanted to talk about a little bit was the movie A Quiet Place, and they're coming out with the second one.
You should just watch the first one first, and then watch the second one.
Yeah, it's very good. But there is very little talking in it. Spoiler alert. There are monsters in it that if they have very good ears, like miles away, but they can't really see. So if you make one sound, you could kind of be dead because they could find you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had to be quiet.
So there's very little talking, and the sounds are very needed for that movie. So I'm going to put a link in the description for a video where they show how they make the Quiet Place sounds, because it's really interesting.
Yeah, because there's no music either. That's the other
very,
reason.
very
it's
little.
It's not, you don't even notice that there's no music because the sounds are so cool.
Yeah. So we can start with the first one. Now, in many period dramas or movies like Lord of the Rings or The Hunger Games and stuff, bone arrows are used a lot. So it can be very hard to get the sound of a real bow and arrow because it's so fast. That would be hard. So what they do is after, like in the studio, they will take a piece of bamboo and they will wave it in front of the mic really fast. And it works because it's wooden, just like a lot of arrows are, and also inside it's hollow, so that'll make the whooshing sound. If you just use like a wooden stick, it would not make the right sound.
There's no whooshing sound.
Yeah, so that's how they do it. They just use a piece of bamboo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of movies with snow in it, and obviously when you see a scene when they're in the snow, you can hear their crunchy footsteps walking through it. Well, it's not actually snow. To recreate that sound, they use cornstarch.
They did.
And they march on it in the studio, and they usually pour it into a huge box, and then they all just walk on it, and that's how they get the sound.
Right, and they'll use like different kinds of shoes, or they'll go barefoot for the certain different
scenes.
Yeah,
depending on what they need.
Yeah, and also for all these sounds, they will, of course, enhance it and tweak it after they actually make the sound. Because if they just use it as the original thing, it won't sound exactly right. So then they go and enhance all these sounds later. So the next one is fire crackling. Either if it's in a woods, in a fireplace, or if it's a big fire.
That's such a good sound in a movie.
It is.
You gotta have nice a crackling fire.
Yeah, but actually in real life, it's not as crisp and loud as they need it to be with the real fire. So they will use bubble wrap. They'll crunch bubble wrap in front of it.
How about that?
And they will use baking sheet liners.
Okay, so how about horses in movies? I love horses. I love them in movies. I think it's great. It's not really logical to put a microphone next to a horse and record them. So you could do Lucia's technique of using her vans. Watch last week's episode.
ASMR.
Or you could do what most people do, which is actually coconuts.
Yeah.
Bang them together. And that
dry
makes
coconuts.
It's actually a very cheap solution, and it sounds just like horses' hooves.
Yeah.
Or you could skip the horses completely and just use coconuts for your whole movie. You don't even need the horse.
Just run around with coconuts like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is the sounds of monsters, like the roaring and the groaning, or with dinosaurs. Now, a lot of times they will use balloons, inflated balloons, and they will just rub them certain ways and do stuff like that. And also, they will use actual real animal sounds. They did that a lot for Jurassic Park, for the velociraptors and T-Rexes and all that, they used actual animals sounds.
Yeah, and in Star Wars too, Chewbacca's voice is a mix of like a tiger and a bear and a cat.
And then for all of these too, they don't. It's not like, set in stone. They don't use these exact things for everything.
They just want it to sound how they want. So if they need to change it up, they change it up.
Right.
I think it'd be a cool job.
It would be.
All right, so now get out your Western hats, because we're talking about gunshots in movies. Okay, they're not just in Westerns, but there are a lot of shots in Westerns. So, again, it is not logical to try and catch a whizzing bullet or the gun going off. It just doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So, what do they use? Staple guns.
Yeah.
They use staple guns to make the sound.
Right.
And, of course, then they add other effects to make it not sound just like a staple gun.
Right.
But that's the base.
And also, but for like movies that are really intense that need like a lot, they will sometimes actually shoot off guns like in very safe, enclosed
sometimes
areas.
If it's like you need a lot of them, then yeah.
So the next one is swinging doors, like old doors and the creaky sound. Now that can add a lot of tension and stuff to scary movies. And they actually used rusty old door hinges. They will use that and just like move it in front of the mic.
You don't need a whole door.
Yeah.
Just the hinge.
So this is one that's been used for a while in Hollywood, actually, for like a lot of old westerns and stuff. They use this one.
There's a lot of squeaky doors in old movies.
Oh, yes.
All right, so the next one is heartbeat sounds. This one kind of shocked me. Like, of all the things that they could pick to use.
Yeah.
So, again, they're not going to hold a microphone next to your chest because it just is not loud enough. So what they do is they take a plastic trash can, they plop it so the bottom is facing up, and they tap on it to create the heartbeat sound.
Press it down on the ground to get the heartbeat.
Who would have thought of that?
And like if I think about it, yeah, it does actually sound like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about punching sounds? Now punching. Whoa!
A little late.
Yeah. I didn't know that was coming. So. So punching, that's in a lot of movies. It's been in movies for a very long time. That's one of the sounds like in Pow Pow. That's been there for a while.
Power Rangers.
So they were actually used for this. They would use raw meat, and they will punch raw meat.
Because why not?
Right, or you could just
you get paid to go punch raw meat. I mean, come on. How is that not a fun job?
Or you could just punch it yourself like Rocky did in his training. He punched raw meat. But also, they will not just use raw meat. Sometimes they use like heavy books or something, and they'll drop it on a hard surface or, a surface that would sound like a punch too.
All right, so go back to Westerns. No, just kidding. There are thunderstorms in lots of movies. Mm-hmm. And how do you get thunder to be nice and scary when you're in the movie theater? So if you take big sheets of aluminum and you shake them,
not like the cookie sheet aluminum, actual aluminum,
like industrial size, you're gonna patch something and make something.
Yeah.
If you shake that in front of a microphone, it sounds like thunder. Mm-hmm. And then of course they doctor it.
Yeah, because that wouldn't be very realistic to wait for some thunder outside.
Oh, guys, we're gonna be here for the next 4 days.
Yeah. So the next one is kind of in the same field, which is rain pattering. Now, sometimes they do use actual rainstorms.
Yeah,
but
I feel like you could actually use
You
rain.
could get that. But, if they need it on a time crunch and there's no rain coming, then they will actually use sizzling bacon. That actually will sound like,
I could see that.
Like that.
But now that you say that, every time I watch a rainy movie, I'm just going to think of bacon. Every time.
Yeah. But they will also use rice, which I think rice would sound more like it than sizzling
I feel like
bacon.
sounds like bacon.
Yeah.
Sizzling.
So they'll use rice and put that on a hard surface, too.
And if anyone gets married, you're going to be prepared.
Are you saying... I'm not quite getting that. Are you saying...
The rice, hello. You throw rice when people get married.
Yeah, but are you saying the crew that are making these...
Yes, the crew is going to be ready because they'll have rice.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to get married while they're there, they can throw the rice.
Do people do that anymore? I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Somewhere it's still a thing.
Okay.
It will be. I'm going to throw rice on you for your wedding.
Oh, okay.
All right, so cracking eggs. So when they have to make the cracking noise, they use a dry ice cream cone.
Yeah, which actually makes sense.
Yes. And there's like, the movies where there's something that comes out of the egg.
Like Jurassic Park again.
Or something else. And it's all gross and mucusy. Then they'll wear like rubber gloves and they'll use like liquid soap and lather themselves up, and then they'll squish a melon. That's how they get that sound.
Yes. Okay, so the next one is crushing sounds. Now, in movies, people can get hurt and their bones can break. Now, again, not really realistic to go and actually hurt someone. I wouldn't recommend that if you're making a movie. Don't do that.
It's really not going to be great for your actor.
So instead of that, what they do is they use a stick of celery, and they will break that in front of the mic.
Who knew?
And like they can like twist it too sometimes. They don't just break it in half if they need that too.
All right, so our last one is when hamburgers fall, which only happens in one movie, and that is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So when the hamburgers splat, it is actually the sound of wet paper towels and mops being dropped on the floor.
Yeah.
So there's your fun fact for the day.
Yeah, and also back to A Quiet Place. When the monsters are opening their eyes, there's like this clicking sound, and they use the most bizarre method. They got grapes, put them on the floor, and they used a stun gun, and they did that
again,
to the grapes.
Who thinks, let's stun grapes and see what happens?
And then what they did is they slowed it down, so it was like not just it was like click, 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 and that was the sound of the.
I mean, it's unique.
Yeah, it is. So there are many more sounds that they have out there that they use, or things they use for sound effects. Is just a few of them. Hope you learned some stuff from here. Thought it was neat to share. And now it is time for the news.
This just in. Now that Christmas is over, the polar bears are demanding we give their Coca-Cola back. Why is this so close? Interns.
Ernie, what have we told you about the camera angle? You cannot... Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. The FDA has just put out an important notice that a bunch of food has just been seriously contaminated in these areas. Number 1, and now it is time for the Taylor Treasure Box.
Okay, I'm gonna open it this time.
Whoa, that's a change.
There you go.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Always open it.
You never asked. Okay. We
No,
could
I did.
switch back and forth. Do you think we should do
Oh,
that?
you can always do it. I just need to do it once.
No. Okay.
Would I rather be a snake or a lion? Lion all the way. I mean, snakes don't have
Me too.
arms or legs or paws or feet.
Yeah. Okay, would I rather wear summer clothes or winter clothes all the time?
Oh, I know the answer to this one.
Winter clothes.
Yes! Even in summer, you don't wear summer clothes. It's like
Hey, I do.
95 degrees, and she's like, got her sweater on with her
I don't
pants.
wear a
Black
sweater.
jeans, by the way. We went somewhere once, and it was like 95 degrees, and you had black jeans on.
Yeah.
What?
I'm wearing black jeans right now, but it's January, okay?
Yeah, now you're allowed, but
I've always preferred pants over shorts. That's just me. I don't know.
not when it's 95 degrees.
I do wear shorts in the summer when it gets really hot. So, so again, hope you enjoyed this episode. Learned some new things about the way Hollywood makes their sound effects. Make sure to give us a like and a comment. Make sure to subscribe. And after you subscribe, make sure to press the bell so you get all of our videos in your notifications
And
box.
share this video with all your movie-loving friends.
Yeah, just go and share it. And we'll see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode.
Thank
If you'd like to
you.
subscribe down here, you can subscribe.
Please
Subscribe. And if you'd like to watch a random episode, you can click over
down
here. And we'll see you next time. Bye!